Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to go over the development process and the tools I've used to create the trading systems on this course. So first of all, the trading systems have all been created in AmiBroker, which I still believe is one of the best value platforms out there. AmiBroker is an excellent charting tool for technical analysis. It has an extremely fast backtesting engine that comes with built-in optimization and walk-forward features. It can run scans and market explorations, and it's altogether a very flexible tool for traders. The systems are all created in AmiBroker code and then run on historical stock market data going back to 2000. For the data, I'm using end-of-day US stock data from Norgate Premium. This comes in at around $35 a month for end-of-day updates, depending on how many add-ons you want to include. But it's really a small price to pay for a reliable, well-maintained data source. I'll be using the Alpha database from Norgate, which includes historical constituents. So what that means is that the historical members for each of the major US stock indexes have all been organized into separate watch lists. This means that they're ready to be directly accessed through AmiBroker. The point of this is to have stock market data that is free of survivorship bias. Every year, companies go bankrupt or they get taken over and they drop off the stock exchange. And if we don't cater for these stocks, we're going to have a bias test. So Norgate data takes care of this for us, and the data is also adjusted for stock splits, dividends, capital actions, and things like that, which isn't the case for many other data providers. So those are the two main tools I'll be using to create the systems. But we still need something else, which is inspiration. I tend to believe that the best strategies are based on an underlying premise about the market, something that is explainable perhaps due to investor behavior or other market forces. As this reduces the chance of finding something random, I think it's a good thing to start a trading system with. So one source I use to find trading system ideas is the Social Science Research Network website, which details lots of academic papers from financial journals, and also like to look at the financial journals themselves. I also use Quantpedia, which is a subscription product, but it contains lots of useful trading systems and trading strategy ideas. As well as Quantpedia, obviously I like to read magazines, blogs and books. A great website is quantocracy.com. And of course, it's good to just observe the market and look for any patterns or ideas in the price action. So that explains how I typically come up with a trading idea. Before we move on, I'm going to briefly talk about the development process, and I've created this flowchart to show the process we usually take. So in general, everything starts with the idea. The idea needs to be relatively simple and have some kind of underlying concept or market hypothesis. This idea is then translated into programming code, and then the historical data is prepared for testing. I typically split the data into in-sample and out-of-sample with a couple of years reserved for each. Then a backtest is run on the in-sample data to see if the idea has any merit. If the results are poor, we can go back to the system to see if there's anything we've missed, or we can go back to the idea and come up with something new. If the results are promising, we can move on to validation and stress testing, and then run the system on out-of-sample data and then on future data to see if it's worth trading. Once we're trading live, we continually revalidate the system using the live data and results as they come in. Importantly, all the while we run through this process, we're constantly paying attention to our backtesting principles and the many pitfalls and mistakes that can easily creep into the backtesting process. And in the next lecture, we're going to discuss these mistakes so you can get a more rounded view of the development process.